Welcome back to the show. Oh my goodness, executive order just signed late yesterday afternoon. They're going to create a sovereign wealth fund for the United States of America. And did they do that to make crypto easier to put in it? We got that and so much more. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on X, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $3.4 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is back up 4%. Oh, we went through a real flash crash there. That was something, wasn't it? I bought that dip. Did you? Bitcoin 99,500 plus, knocking on 100K's door again. 2,800 plus for Ethereum, but it took a hell of a hit. And so did XRP. XRP back at the number 3 spot at 264. We're up 9.6 on the 24, but we're still off 15.7 on the 7-day. Look at the range of price here. Range of price between 221 and 279. All right, we'll keep an eye on it. Let's get into it. First of all, I Trust Capital, the best home for crypto, gold, silver, IRAs, ladies and gentlemen. What are you waiting for? This is an incredible time for you to take advantage of an IRA, especially a Roth IRA where you put the money in and it's tax-free when you take it out. That's not the way a 401k works, which is why you can roll your 401k over right into your IRA, your Roth at iTrust, and you could have all the power and control in your back office. There's nothing like it. You won't believe it. Make sure you click the link below and get started today. Take a look at this. Well, maybe. Okay, here it is. Eric Trump says, in my opinion, it's a great time to add Ethereum. Well, Ethereum just had a huge pullback. But at the same time, I'd like to remind people, this is where it looks like some of the older Trump kids may have gotten to a party with some of the VC ETH Solana kids, right? Maybe they had a sleepover, you know. Someone should remind Eric and the Trump family that CCP Wanzhang backed Ethereum. Might want to stay away from that one. And then this right here, confirmed Trumer, not rumor. Jack Dorsey posted this image and it was captured and reshared by Mr. Intuitive here. Take a look at this image. Jack Dorsey, Bitcoin purist. So much a purist. He's talking about, look, the ETFs, a strategic reserve, means nothing if you can't get Bitcoin to work as payments, and we haven't been able to do it. Now he's got an image he's created of Michael Saylor in some kind of transformer outfit. And then when he goes and takes off into the air, it turns into XRP. Take a look. Well, how about that? And that's Jack Dorsey doing that to another Bitcoin purist, Michael Saylor. What is going on here? Things are moving quickly, ladies and gentlemen. Saul Uptown says this. He says, if I told y'all that went down, you wouldn't believe it, I think is the phrase. Yeah, and here he also shares at the same time, Greg Kidd. Now, if you don't know the connection, Jack Dorsey and Greg Kidd are very close friends. In fact, when Jack was younger, he lived at Greg Kidd's house and came up with Twitter there. And Greg Kidd, obviously one of the first 10 employees at Ripple, put this out. It says, I've always been drawn to solving problems at the intersection of risk, technology, and regulation. Looking back at my career has been a series of bridges connecting industries, ideas, and sometimes wildly different worlds. I started management consulting at Booz Allen, but left to build something real, a bike courier business that scaled into the world's largest dispatch organization, went public, acquired 62 companies. It's where I learned about payments, logistics, and even hired Jack Dorsey after he ethically hacked us. After taking the company public, I pivoted public policy, working with the Federal Reserve Payments Group, talk about a crash course in how money moves and how regulators think. When Twitter launched, Jack was actually living with me, and while I wasn't a co-founder, I worked on early challenges like the fact of SMS Bill was bigger than the Twitter payroll. I was knee-deep in the broader startup world too, writing early checks for Twitter, Square, Coinbase, Filecoin, Solana, and these. I was there at inception, not the founder, but often the guy with the risk and compliance background. He joined Ripple as employee number 10, back when crypto largely ignored risk and compliance. My role was always building bridges between fintech and legacy financial regulatory world. The firms I worked with avoided the fate of FTX and Binance. My work also led to found Global ID and buy a nationally chartered U.S. bank, with my ultimate goal of building compliant tokenized U.S. dollars moving on blockchain. All of this coming out in the same time frame, and Jack Dorsey used to live at Greg Kids, right, showing this transition of Sailor Bitcoin into XRP. Because I think, as I have said from the very first video, I believe that I've ever made in my career here in the YouTube land, and before I was a YouTuber, everything runs on XRP. You know why I believe that? Because XRP has a decentralized exchange built into the layer 1. And that decentralized exchange is not a world exchange unless the world's using it. That's why I understand pre-allocation and option contracts. That's why I understand there's so many option contracts we weren't allowed to see. The SEC didn't try to refute the covering up of those contracts. They were cool with it. They signed off on it too. So this gets more interesting, ladies and gentlemen. It gets way more interesting. Stablecoin regulation, the opportunity and benefits of fungible global assets. Let me help you with this one here. I'm going to give a macro translations on this so you don't have to read the article, which is good, by the way. It's from Ripple. Stablecoin regulation is important because right now the XRP Ledger is a highway, a super highway. But no one's really on it in mass, in scale, in order of magnitude. You understand. Yes, 70 billion in payments done. I'm not being dismissive. What I'm saying is the rest of the known world isn't using it the way everything else is getting used today. But I believe that is the goal. And I believe in order to get that goal, stablecoin regulation is going to be enormous because it will allow for stablecoins to run around on this massive superhighway known as the XRP Ledger, which has a world exchange known as a decentralized exchange built in. And all these cars called stablecoins and central bank digital currencies can run around on that highway and do all kinds of business, delivering all kinds of value back and forth. But we got to have it first. Well, I think this is one of the massive steps of bringing that embrace to crypto. Happening now from Caroline Leavitt. President Trump signs an executive order calling for the creation of a sovereign wealth fund. Why a sovereign wealth fund? Senator Lummis says this is a big deal, using the Bitcoin sign for big there. And I think it is a big deal. And I think its sovereign fund is going to make it much easier for the president and the United States to put the assets they want in it without having so many hurdles involved. That's what I think is getting ready to happen and why they went this direction. But let's listen to the actual signing, which also has the U.S. Treasurer, Steve Bissett, and the Department of Commerce's Howard Lutnick from Cantor Fitzgerald, and both of them hold Bitcoin.
Treasury, Scott Bessent, and your Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, to begin a process that will hopefully result in the creation of an American sovereign wealth fund.
It's a very exciting event. We're going to have a sovereign wealth fund, which we've never had. We have a lot of things that create wealth, and you're seeing that over the last 2 weeks. I think we've created more wealth. Other people have created de-wealth, the people, my predecessors. We're creating a lot of wealth. Scott, maybe you'd like to say something about it, and I'd ask also Howard to say something about it.
Yes, sir. This is very exciting. We're going to stand this thing up within the next 12 months. We're going to monetize the asset side of the U.S. balance sheet for the American people. We're going to put the assets to work, and I think it's going to be very exciting. We're going to study best practices that's done around the world. It'll be a combination of liquid assets, assets that we have in this country as we work to bring them out for the American people.
Wow, I wonder if he was talking about American-made cryptos and bringing that out for the people.
Extraordinary size and scale of the U.S. government and the business it does with companies should create value for American citizens. If we are going to buy 2 billion COVID vaccines, maybe we should have some warrants and some equity in these companies and have that grow for the help of the American people. So I bring all these things together. I think Scott and I will create an amazing sovereign wealth fund for you, sir.
So other countries have sovereign wealth funds, and they're much smaller countries, and they're not the United States. We have tremendous potential in this country, tremendous. You're seeing that, what's happened just in a short period of time. And as an example, TikTok, we're going to be doing something perhaps with TikTok, and perhaps not. If we make the right deal, we'll do it, otherwise we won't. But I have the right to do that, and we might put that in the sovereign wealth fund, whatever we make, or if we do a partnership with very wealthy people, a lot of options, but we could put that as an example in the fund, and we have a lot of other things that we could put in the fund. And I think in a short period of time, we'd have one of the biggest funds, and some of them are pretty large, I must tell you. Some of like the Saudi Arabia fund is on the large side, but eventually we'll catch it. But we're going to create a lot of wealth for the fund, and I think it's about time that this country had a sovereign wealth fund, and these two gentlemen and some others are going to work with them very closely, and they'll be heading it up, and they're going to do a great job. Two highly respected people that have done unbelievably well in the world, in the real world. So that's a big deal, huh?
Yes, sir. I think it's going to create value and be of great strategic importance.
Wow. Okay, that's amazing. And today there at 2:30, there is going to be a talk from the crypto czar, David Sachs, and he's going to break down what this is about. The question remains for all of us is, will this U.S. sovereign fund include U.S.-based cryptocurrencies like Algo, XRP, ADA, XLM, and HBAR? That's the question. Austin King says here, Trump just signed an executive order to create a U.S. sovereign wealth fund. Norway has $1.7 trillion fund, but the U.S. has a 50 times larger GDP. What could this mean for crypto and other industries that Trump has deemed national strategic priority? I love Austin Thread. And Austin's going to be at XRP Las Vegas. Did you get your ticket? You want to see Brad Garlinghouse speak on stage too? Or the CEO of Uphold? Or the CEO of iTrust? MoonPay? And on and on and on. I mean, we got it for you this year. I'm going to tell you. Austin's going to be there too. He says the first sovereign wealth fund was established in 1953 by Kuwait as a way to deploy excess oil revenues. While some criticize the government should not invest in private markets, many of these funds have proven highly profitable. This has grown into a worldwide phenomenon. Look at the list below here. He says here, the list here, Norway, China, Kuwait, United Arab Emirates, the list goes on and on. But look, the top two are over $1 trillion between Norway and China and their sovereign wealth funds. Why shouldn't we have one? Trillions of government-controlled dollars are being deployed to industries across these nations with so much money. What do these funds actually do? Sovereign wealth funds have two goals: generate profitable investments. Through investing, grow strategically important sectors. Oh, like a crypto sector? Like a digital economy, U.S. market infrastructure sector? What could this mean for the U.S.? Trump has publicly stated that he plans to make America the crypto capital of the world. However, he has faced bureaucratic hurdles since being in office. Many are missing the reality. Trump is pulling a clever political maneuver.
Assets that have been buoyant. Do you see any value or benefits in the U.S. government building a reserve of Bitcoin?
We're not allowed to own Bitcoin. The Federal Reserve Act says what we can own, and we're not looking for a law change. That's the kind of thing for Congress to consider, but we are not looking for a law change at the Fed.
There you have that. And then he goes on to say this fund would have less controls, need fewer approvals before investing, exactly as I was saying. Strategically speaking, Trump is setting up a way to deploy funds with less red tape. That's how I'm seeing this too, Austin. It's possible this fund could invest in Bitcoin, XRP, Solana, and other cryptos made in America. He's the co-founder, Austin is, of Omni FDN, and he lives in New York City. He will continue to release analysis on U.S. policy updates, especially as it relates to the crypto industry. You should follow him for more. Austin is super, super sharp, loving this, and I cannot wait to get him on stage at XRP Las Vegas. Please go get your tickets. Then there's this. Digital Chamber today at 2:30 Eastern Time. White House AI crypto czar David Sachs alongside lawmakers, including Financial Committee Chair Representative French Hill, Banking GOP Chair Senator Tim Scott. This is a big deal. Will host a press conference outlining the future of crypto in the U.S. Now, I'm going to tell you what jams me up about this. The Digital Chamber went on to say, why is this important? Congress isn't waiting for the 180 days outline in Trump's executive order to act. Remember I said it would be June, July for the Crypto Council comes back with their findings, 180 days. Well, they're not waiting, according to the Digital Chamber. The House and Senate committees are already advancing key digital asset policies, showing urgency and commitment to ensuring the U.S. leads in crypto innovation. The Trump administration's stance is clear, and crypto and AI are national priorities. Congress is showing alignment with this vision, ensuring the U.S. remains a leader in financial innovation. And don't forget, the Digital Chamber's got a conference coming up in March. You're going to want to go to that too. Imagine what you're going to hear there. This is why I remind you, let's say today at 2:30 the government really doubles down and leans in hard, which they appear to be, to putting cryptos in this sovereign wealth fund, and they announced exactly that. Maybe they don't say which ones in particular, and I could understand that being the case, but announcing that they will be doing it, and maybe even announcing positive movement on legislation for crypto and stable coins. That would be positive too. But I come back to, let's say that they just announced, yes, we're going to be putting cryptos in there. Thank you. Have a good day. See you soon. Got it. Then you got to come back to what Monica Long said not too long ago. 15 of the 25 largest banks globally already piloted and tokenized. They have market-ready offerings in the U.S. ready to go to offer their customers. But if they see a sovereign wealth fund announced and that crypto's going in it, what do you think the 15 largest banks are going to do also? You think they might think it's a good idea to hold on to some crypto too and not just offer it to their customers and custody it for them? I think they'll be doing it for themselves as well. Today at 2:30 is going to be pretty remarkable. That's going to do it for me. Listen, we're going into the Freedom Zone. I really hope you will join me today. We got some great stuff that I want to share with you. And then I've got some separate stuff that's like a long video I want to put in separately. But today we're going inside the Freedom Zone. Go to the link underneath the video. Click that link for the Freedom Zone. Join us for next to nothing. What a great way to support the channel. And we're super grateful for each one of you that do. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. I'll catch all of you on the next one. We're going into the Freedom Zone. Come on in. All right, welcome back. Let's start right here.